Last year, I talked about the video game Oogie's Revenge, so I figured it only made sense to talk about the other Nightmare Before Christmas game. When started the game, we're greeted with Jack's smiling face on the screen. Dear God, he's tapping on the fourth wall. The story serves as a prequel to the film. It's Halloween, and Jack Skellington is excited for his first year as a Pumpkin King. However, trouble is brewing in town, and Oogie Boogie demands our lock, shock, and barrel bring Jack to him. Instead, though, they end up kidnapping Sally because they're stupid. Sally seems surprisingly cool with it, though. Then again, she is said to be newly made, so maybe she just doesn't realize how much danger she's in. Things then go from bad to worse when Oogie decides to overrun Halloween Town with bugs. Now it's up to Jack to stop the infestation and Oogie, as well as save Sally and Halloween. This is a pretty standard action platformer, where you run and jump your way through each location, and defeat enemies along the way. In addition to his sharp agility, Jack is also equipped with an array of weapons in his arsenal. The first weapon you'll get is a frog gun, which will bounce green fumes. This also means that Jack was using a gun years before Fortnite. Unfortunately, it also has pretty short range. As you progress though, you'll find more weapons and offensive items. One of these is the Bat Boomerang, which are really more like Bat Shurikens. During your journey in Halloween Town, you also come across some mysterious and spooky residents who are troubled by their own predicaments thanks to the recent infestation. You'll need to help them in order to proceed. In return, they'll give you boots to help you on your mission, including the ability to turn to No-Face from Spirited Away. In addition to playing as Jack, there will be times where you'll need to play as his ghostly canine companion Zero. During these segments, Zero will be flowing through an air corridor, while you have to make sure he doesn't run into any obstacles. You'd think he'd just be able to harmlessly phase through these obstacles, being a ghost and all. But I guess we wouldn't have much of a challenge if that was the case. Also, Zero's nose will glow whenever there's a special pickup in the area, which is always helpful. The game's soundtrack features new arrangements of the movie's beloved score, which is always cool to hear. This includes a triumphant version of This Is Halloween, as Jack does a victory dance after defeating a boss. Jack's eccentric personality shines through with the animations, whether it's through graceful choreography or a mischievous squat. Also, look at that swagger as he enters and exits each location. Those hips don't lie, do they? The environmental graphics do a pretty good job of emulating the atmosphere of Halloween Town. While they're not necessarily accurate recreations of the movie's locations, it's clear what each place in the game is meant to represent. There's a decent variety of enemies you'll encounter, as well as boss fights that'll keep you on your toes. In addition to enemies, there are also environmental hazards you'll need to watch out for, including some rather creepy hide-and-seek-esque segments. Forget Oogie Boogie, all those eyes are going to give me nightmares. Overall, the game isn't nearly on the same level as punishingly difficult as something like Lady Sia. However, it still provides a fair challenge for both adults and kids. As mentioned before, this game's story takes place before the events of the movie, but I also recently learned that this isn't the only prequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas to come out. In 2023, there was a prequel comic called The Battle for the Pumpkin King, published by Tokyo Pop, which is apparently still a thing. Or at least, it's a thing again. Anyways, this story features a young Jack Skellington and Oogie Boogie. According to this comic, Jack and Oogie were once inseparable friends. However, they took on different ideals, which eventually led them to becoming arch nemesis. And look how cute baby-faced Jack is. It's also apparently before Jack decided to start tucking his shirt in. Seeing Jack as a youngster, though, raises a few questions. Did he die when he was a child, or was he born as a skeleton? And if he could grow up, does that mean he could have kids, or does that depend on the compatibility with whoever he's paired up with? And if he could age, does that mean he could die of old age, or is he more or less immortal? If he were to die, will he just come back like a video game respawn, or will he completely cease to exist? And that's not even getting into the whole concept of ghosts into it. Come on, Disney, these are the questions the fans want answered. Beyond that, though, there's actually quite a rabbit hole of Nightmare Before Christmas extended media. Author Michael Mullin actually drafted 2 children's books that would basically be sequels to the film. One of them was going to be called The Nightmare Before Easter, themed around Easter, and the other called A Midwinter's Nightmare Scream, based around Valentine's Day. I'll leave a link to his blog regarding these stories in the description. Tim Burton was actually enthusiastic about the ideas, since they were books, not movies, but Disney wasn't interested in them as books, so they were never made. It's too bad though, since there have been Disney storybooks since I was a kid that featured new adventures with beloved characters. I think it would be nice to see something like that with Nightmare Before Christmas. Luckily for those still waiting for their Nightmare fix, there's quite a bit out there now. We have 2 comic sequels, Zero's Journey and Mirror Moon. There's even a young adult sequel novel starring Sally, called Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. Another book is called Sally's Lament, which is an installment in the Twisted Tales series. It's a surprising number of new entries to be released in the 2020s, which I guess goes to show you just how beloved this movie's become, and people want to create and see more with these characters. It kind of makes me wonder if we'll end up seeing a return to Halloween Town in the Kingdom Hearts series, or at least see the characters again. The Pumpkin Cake for the GBA, though, is quite light on substance when it comes to its nature as a prequel. The game doesn't really do much to expand upon or explore the lore and the characters of the story we know and love. Instead, it's pretty much there to give us a reason to go on a perilous quest and play an action platformer with a nightmare coat of paint. Which is a-okay, as even Oogie's Revenge is also kind of like that. With that one though, at least we got a rare fully fledged musical and video game form. Still, there's nothing wrong with the Pumpkin King's more simplistic format. It's clear what it sets out to do, and it does it well enough. However, it might feel a bit lacking for those who want a little more than just that. Even so, it's an interesting entry when it comes to Nightmare Before Christmas extended media, especially before it had a boom in the 2020s. Also, I guess this makes this video more Halloween themed than Christmas themed, but oh well. This is the video I had planned, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click like, and subscribe if you want to see more.